Hey guys, what's going on? Welcome to the video. So in this video, we're going to be going over the top 3 stocks for this up and coming week and just going over what I believe is going to happen in the market, my best guesses, and just the overall strategy that I'm looking to do. So without further ado, let's get into the picks from last week, how they performed, and then we'll get into the top 3 picks for this coming week. Let's get into it. So first off, last week's picks. So my number 1 pick from last week was NextEra Energy, ticker symbol NEE. This was on a steady uptrend this whole week. Now I'm still holding this one very strong. I'm holding this one up until the election and plan to sell right before the election, or I'll be selling right before the stock split. It depends if it keeps on running up or not. But this is one that's probably due for a pullback after this very solid run for the past couple weeks. But I do believe this does have further to run, and my personal price target is between 310 and 320. So I'll be looking to take profits either right before the stock split or right before the election. My next pick from last week was Gilead Sciences, ticker symbol GILD. So this one was up and down all week. It did give us some patterns to trade off of, but it wasn't an amazing pick or anything. So I personally took profits on Friday when on that pop, but I still do like this chart a lot, and I'll probably be looking to buy back in if we do get any substantial pullbacks, because I do like the opportunity still. Finally, we had Southwest Airlines, ticker symbol LUV. So this one took a big dip when we got rumors that the stimulus wasn't going to happen on that Trump tweet, and then he tweeted the next day and things looked better. So this did finish the week very solid. If you bought this on the big dip, that was a great move, but it obviously was a risky play, and these airlines as a whole are a very risky play right now. It's just purely dependent on the stimulus news and virus news, so keep watch. High risk, high reward here. It's a great value, but it definitely could take a substantial dip. So I'll be looking to get in and out of this one, but not any long-term hold, because I just don't know what's going to happen in the coming days with the virus as we know what's going on. So those are the plays from last week, and like I've been talking about, the hot sectors right now that we need to be focusing on is number 1, renewable resources. Solar power is looking very strong right now as the sector as a whole. We've had a bunch of penny runners in that sector, so keep watch for that. Hot sector that's up and coming that I expect to run up to the election, the cannabis sector. Now personally, I would guess that the US doesn't get cannabis legalized anytime soon. So what my belief is whether Trump or Biden wins, who knows what's going to happen. But whoever wins, I could see a steep drop-off, just because if Biden wins, I don't expect cannabis to be legalized. But if Trump wins, obviously those hopes are all down the drain. So my plan on cannabis is I will not be holding through the election at all. I'll be taking profits probably pretty quickly on this one within the next couple of weeks, and definitely before the election, just because I don't expect it to be legalized or anything like that. Another hot sector that I'm watching, keeping an eye on, is the EV sector. I do expect EVs to start taking off very soon. And yeah, there's a couple other sectors to keep an eye on, but those 3 are my main 3 that I'm focusing on. Also, something to keep an eye on is earnings season is coming up. There's going to be a bunch of earnings. I'm going to give you guys a couple plays that I'm looking for in earnings in this video. So let's get into the first stock pick for this up and coming week. So my focus on research this weekend is finding cannabis plays. I do believe that cannabis does have another week or 2 to keep running up, just because it's been so beaten down. I do expect this bounce to continue for the next couple weeks. So I've been looking for the top play on this, and I came up with a company that I really do like a lot. So let's take a look at this. This stock is GrowGeneration Corp, ticker symbol GRWG. So this was an IPO in 2016. This has been one of the best performers year to date, as it's been up 365% in the past year. So this is a play on the cannabis industry, but it's not directly. They do not produce cannabis. What they do is they provide materials to help grow this product. They provide LED lights, nutrition, and more just to help support this plant growth. The cannabis market is expected to grow 14% year over year and be worth about $30 billion by 2025. So this company is in the hydroponics market. So what this means essentially is growing plants without soil, and the market is expected to reach about $16 billion by 2025. So 5 years from now. So there's a ton of growth potential for this company, as it should be one of the main players in this space. Now this article is stating if it wants a 100x opportunity, what this company would need to do is take over 83% of this market share by 2025. Now, I believe that is obviously very unlikely, but if this was to get 20 to 30% of this market share, I think that's huge, and I can see this stock taking off as people realize the future opportunity that this stock does hold. So some things that I like about this company is, first of all, it's not a direct player, so it's still going to be solid even if the cannabis hopes and the cannabis hype does die down. It also takes on all of the upside of the sector as well. So limited downside, unlimited upside, that's what I like to see in a company. So the next thing that I love about this stock is the technicals. Let's take a look at this technical setup. So we can see off this cannabis hype, it finally broke this resistance level that we've been trying to break for the past couple months. So I see this stock with room to run all the way up until past $22. As of right now, it's trading for $18. So I can see in the next couple weeks this hitting $22 if things go right. Now, if the cannabis hype dies down, this would be one to sell out of, but it also does have limited downside and just a ton of growth opportunity. So I do like the setup as it finally broke out of the resistance that it tested many times. times, and it is looking very bullish for the time being. So this is a swing that I'm looking at for the next 1 to 2 weeks, and I could see this stock getting up to $22 about 2 weeks from now, and that's my target. So that's my number one stock for this upcoming week. The next stock that I'm looking at is United Parcel Service. As we know, this is UPS and ticker symbol UPS. So the valuation is trading very, very highly. It's up 53% year over year, and it's trading at right around $175 per share. So there's two catalysts that I like a lot about this company. The first one is Amazon Prime Day. As you guys know, I was talking about Amazon Prime Day earlier this week. Amazon was a big play on that, but UPS is also a big play on this. They're going to have a ton of deliveries. And the next catalyst is earnings. So the morning of October 28th, they announced their earnings, and I expect a big run up to earnings. My personal price target for this stock is around $180 to $185. I would be looking for a better entry because it has been running up so much, but if I can get into low 170s, if I can get 172 per share, I think that's money, and I will be looking for $180 plus per share by earnings and sell it right before they announce earnings. I believe that this will run up to earnings because the other stocks in its sector have been performing great with earnings. So it should have a solid earnings run up going up to earnings on October 28th, as long as the market stays steady. Now, if the market starts freaking out because of the virus fears, that's when I would cut losses immediately. Got to play off the news and switch your thesis as soon as the news changes. But as the market stays bullish, I do see the stock still running up until earnings, easily getting to $180 plus if things go right. This could also break 185 as we get closer to earnings. That's what I'm watching for. So the next stock I'm looking at for this up and coming week is Abbott Laboratories, ticker symbol ABT. So as we know, this is pretty much the main player on testing and should get some hype as we see so many more increased cases and increased virus fears. This is one to play off of. I really like the technical setup of this one as well. So we can see that it's using the trend line as support as it's trying to break this resistance level of $110. If it breaks this $110 resistance level, we can see the stock run up to the $115 range pretty quickly if it does break this 110 resistance. This could also run up even more if the virus fears do elevate. So this is just a play on the virus fear sector and just the increase in testing and everything like that. I do think a lot of people are going to be buying this stock as virus fears increase and is a play on the virus sector as a whole. So two more stocks that I'm looking at is Facebook and Tesla. So Tesla announces earnings on October 21st. So this is the one that I'll be looking to play the earnings run up for. Now if it breaks this $450 resistance, we could be headed to the high 400s, low 500 once again. If it does break this resistance, this is one that I'll be taking profits on before earnings happens, either the day of or the day before. Reason because you just gotta play off that hype because anything can happen during earnings, but I do like to take profits, secure my profits right before earnings happens. So you're not holding the risk through earnings if anything bad was to come out. Also, Facebook, which announces their earnings on October 29th. As we know, Facebook rarely disappoints. They almost always exceed expectations on their earnings. So this is one that I'm also looking for a slight run up to earnings. So this is also tech giant trading at a valuation way below the other tech giants if you look at the ratios and everything like that. Now there are some concerns about lawsuits against Facebook, but this is not anything uncommon. We've seen a ton of this in the past. I do believe that they'll easily get past this time. As we can see here, they have a lot of room to run up until their next resistance level, and the upcoming earnings should be the catalyst that they need to bring them up just a little bit more. So this is one that I'm looking at as a potential options play leading into earnings, and I'll obviously be looking to take profits right before earnings just to secure my gains. So all these plays are obviously news dependent. If the market was to start freaking out because of everything going on, if increasing bad news comes out and the market just seems very unsteady, I will not be holding these positions. I'll be cutting losses immediately. But these are plays that I love as the market looks pretty bullish in the short term. I'll be looking for a good entry on these, but if you do get a good entry, I do believe that these are pretty low risk plays with pretty solid reward potential that I do like as run up candidates. If you want to get 2 free stocks on Webull, that link is down below. They each value from $8 to $1,600. You can't go wrong with that free money. If you're interested in joining the private stock group, or get $5 free in Acorn investing, $10 free on Coinbase, those links are down below as well. Let me know your top plays in the comments below. Like the video if you haven't already, subscribe. I would greatly appreciate it. It does help me out a ton. And yeah, guys, have your news alerts on. Stay up to date with all the news as that's your time to cut losses or go heavy in the market, depending on stimulus news, depending on virus news. You got to play off all of this because that will dictate where the market goes and where a lot of these plays will go. So guys, thanks so much for watching. Thanks for all the support, and let's get rich. Good luck, guys.